Hello! I thought I'd do a quick video today, and I'm going to use the Cricut, if I don't drop it, the Cricut 3 Birds on Parade, and this I did as a print and cut, so it's white cardstock, and this is just a cheap matte photo paper that I used to layer it. The thing I will say is that when you're using it, just be aware that as soon as you put anything else on there, like wet adhesive or anything, it tends to want to rub off. So you'll see in the other videos, because I've done a couple of these for this week's videos, as a final thing for this season, yeah, it tends to rub off. So I don't know whether that's just the ink and the paper, or whether that's, well, it must be the ink and the paper, but whether it's, I don't know. I let it dry for as long as possible and then cut them out, but it still seemed to want to come off. But I also added some you could use glossy accents, but I actually used some of the Nouveau drops on there just to add a bit of shine, and then also on the eye just for something a bit different. But the layers are really good. It cuts really well. I'm really quite impressed, actually. And I also, the colours that are here are the colours that are like a guide within the image set. So when you bring up an image into Design Space, or some of the, not the very old cartridges, but some of the newer cartridges will have like colour ideas, like a sample of how they would put it together and what colours to use, so that you can tell which layer is which. And so I just went with the colours, and then I found some cardstock that coordinates with it, so it's not the exact color, but it works really well, so that was just a bonus. So that's my cut for today. And then I am going to, before we carry it, well, I'm going to use Punnylicious, my pink stamps, super tweet, because I can. I've got Pacific Point Stampin' Up! Ink that I'm going to use, and I'm going to use a Pacific Point base card. So this measures 8 1/4, which is A4 width, by 5.5. So it's slightly narrower than an A2, but it's kind of my version of it. And then this piece measures 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. And then this one is 5 1/4 by 2 1/8. 2 1/8. Yeah, about 2 1/8. I kind of guessed on this sizing, but it works quite nicely. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to emboss. I'm using a dotted lattice, which is a Sizzix embossing folder. And this is a nice way to get texture on your card. Just sort of lining it up in there. If I need a machine, that would be helpful. Whee. And then I'm using my Cuttlebug plates just for the embossing bit in here. It works, so, but it's at your own risk with your machines. But I have the A plate, the B plate, and I'm going to sandwich my card and embossing folder between the two B's and then run it through. Super easy. Let's put this somewhere. And look at that. Cool. Right, the other thing I have is a Martha Stewart punch. This one's called Gothic Arches, and I thought it kind of looked like fencing, like fence panels. So I thought we can chuck this at the top here. Now, if you've never used one of these, this one actually comes with a corner punch as well, which is what these bits here are for. But this bit here, if you're just using it as a border punch, this is the bit you want to look at. So you start out putting your cardstock in roughly in the middle ish, and then punch it down. And then what you want to do is you're going to move this pattern onto this pattern that's on the, so you're going to move it over to that pattern like that. One tip is to make sure that this bit is butted up against inside there. You'll be able to feel it once you've sort of done it a couple times, just because otherwise it won't necessarily punch straight. So I'm just going to line it up as best I can, and see, then you've got your border all the way around. And then to do the other side, come to the other side of the border punch and do the same thing again. There you go. Just get this off here. My little, my little make my own bin. So that's going to go over there. So I'm just going to grab my chair. It'd just be easier. I'm going to line it up at the bottom. So I'm just going to line it up so it's even around the base. If I can. And then I'm going to have this piece that will sit about there. And I'm going to stamp first, just because when you emboss a piece of cardstock it will tend to shrink, I guess, because what it's by pushing all these pieces out and into the cardstock, it's kind of like the cardstock's doing that. It's going like so. Think of it like that, or don't overthink it like I do. So it's slightly, when you go to put this on, it will be slightly narrower, but don't stress about it. It's not the end of the world. So I'm going to take my ink. I don't know how inky this is, and I'm just going to pop it up here. Super tweet. Isn't that sweet? Tweet, get it? Anyway. And then I'm going to put adhesive all the way around. And even in the middle. Just because it might warp a bit. And then it's somewhat straight. And now we can put our little Tweety bird thing. I don't know. Yeah, I've got to do a lot. I can't help myself. So I hope you guys have enjoyed all the Christmassy and, you know, how I've scheduled stuff this part of the year. Yeah, obviously we're coming to the end of the Christmas and the like holiday type of stuff, but we will be back well, I'm not going to leave it. I'll be back with the next installment of whatever I do very soon. But I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope this, if you do have the print and cut feature on your Cricut, I hope you give it a go, because I'm brand new to it, so this is only the second time I've done it. And I did some previous videos where I just used had it print and cut flat images, whereas this one I layered them up. So when you're layering them, like I say, with the ink, you might need to just be a bit careful, but I think it's cute. So I hope you enjoy this, and thank you for being so super tweet to me, and for all your love and support. And yes, I will see you in the next one, guys. Bye.